Hi, this is Kate,
And this is Dad for another episode of
coding with Dad, and I might not sound entirely enthusiastic. Sorry, I can't speak either. So I might not sound entirely enthusiastic today because of allergies, and I
and
am
you're tired.
tired. And
But I'm wide awake.
yeah, maybe he'll help more today.
I doubt it.
Yeah, he never helps. Okay, anyway, so here's
What are we doing today?
Today we're doing the pipes. So our code for the pipes, we're
bagpipes?
doing
Oh, the pipes.
yeah, our pipes in not the bagpipes. So we're doing these pipes to go across the screen, so we'll be able to, actually play Flappy Bird. But
And
I
this will
believe
finish it up, right?
yeah, because I believe so far we have the bird and the
Yep.
scrolling background, but so far now we just need the pipes. So I
And the
guess
pipes are involved. Like we have to ideally have to randomize where the opening is and randomize how far open they are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's try.
So it's tricky. It's probably the hardest part. So this is probably going to be the longest part too. So yeah, be ready. Okay, so I'm gonna just duplicate a project so we can get started. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay, I'm really tired, but let's get this going. Okay. So anyway, so we're gonna start by making these pipes move across the screen. Because if they don't have any code, then what? Okay, I don't know what's going on, but who cares? It doesn't matter. I think it's some code that I messed up. Oh, did I? I don't know. Just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so we got it to work. I must have just deleted some code when I was trying to make the copy. Must have I did
Crazy.
something weird, but no matter. It doesn't even. You won't even run into that problem. It doesn't even matter. It's fine. But anyway, so now we have our two pipes, which I found on the internet, which are actually really long. I'll show you. Yeah, they're this long. They're the size of the screen. Wow. If you see, it's perfect how you can find these pipes, and they're exactly the size of the screen if you line them up. They're not. I didn't line them up good, but what I mean is if you put them at 0, 0. But let me.
You just search for Flappy Bird.
If you put them at 0, 0. 0. Sorry, this is taking a while. I'm just tired. If you put it at 0, 0, yeah, it extends from the very top of the screen to the very bottom.
Right.
So that's perfect because you can make it go as high or as low as you want, and none of the pipe up here, it won't go like this, with that space. From? I just got them off Google. There probably will be there if you search it up,
Search
but just search Flappy Bird pipe or something to that effect. But anyway, so we have our pipes, and so right now I'm just going to make a gap between them just so it's easy to test and everything. But so far we have our Flappy Bird and we have our pipes, and our Flappy Bird is trying to fly through the pipes, but he'll never make it.
That seems cruel.
Yeah. It's like the hamster on the wheel trying to get the carrot, or whatever they eat.
That's not right.
Anyway, so we're going to try to make these pipes move to, have this Flappy Bird be able to go through the pipes. And the reason why in the other episode we put touching color, or I don't even know if we put that, but in the other episode we might have just done touching color black, but we might have done touching color black or this purpley weird color, but that's the color of the outside of the pipes. If you look really closely, it looks more like a gray, but on here it looks more like purple. I don't know why, but it's the same color, and if that will make it so. That will make it so. Yeah, you have to. When you take this, you can press touching color and then take this and go right up here to the
right
thing. Just want to make sure I'm getting the right color.
So that, so if you try it and you think, "Wow, I hit the pipe and it didn't,"
then you might not have the right color.
Yeah.
So, or you got skin. That's what I was having trouble with Pac-Man, because I was just recently trying to code Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not the same color all the way around, then you might need to have a different one because of, you want it to be the same color, or else it would be very hard. But you could do touching this sprite instead of touching color.
Or you could do that.
You could do that if you want to too.
Okay. But this is fine.
This is fine if you can't find one to use as a sprite like this, then just do touch and
mainly
sprite.
'cause
Sorry,
you
I'm
have-
taking so long explaining that.
Mainly because you want it to be able to game over if it reaches the bottom of the ground, reaches the ground or the pipe. So I think this is a good way to do it.
So I think that's easier, but you could also do just touching sprite, touching color, or touching sprite, stuff like that. Anyway, taking a while here. So right now we want to start by making the pipes move because that's probably the easier part of it,
Yep.
And then we'll get into the hard part later. So we want to go, okay, sorry. We want to do when green flag is clicked, set a variable. I called it scroll X pipe because I called the background scroll X.
Mm-hmm.
So I called it scroll X pipe,
Makes sense.
So set that to, oh my gosh, my nose is so stuffy. To 240.
Because in the end, we want the pipe to scroll faster than the background, right?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, what we're doing here is, you guys might have noticed that the background was set to -3, but we're gonna set to the background. Well, first we're gonna do not Y bottom. We're gonna set scroll X pipe at the very beginning to 240. 240. And then we're going to do forever and ever and ever. Change scroll X pipe. Change scroll X pipe. 1 second, sorry. Scroll X pipe by -2. Because the reason why it's not -3 is because you'll see later, but it gives it more of a 3D effect because the pipes are moving at a different speed, making the pipes look more closer to you. Okay, so that's what we're gonna start with, and then we're gonna do. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at the code right now to see. Okay, so then we're gonna do events. To see what to explain first, but then we're gonna do events control. Forever and ever and ever. It's probably getting annoying. Motion, and you're gonna go set X to scroll X pipe. So this is kind of similar to the code for the background scroll because we're setting it to a variable so both can move at the same rate. Although the variables were there were 2 variables for this one, and here there's only 1 to make it scroll across the screen. But yeah, okay, so so now we want to do let me change this. Now we want to do, for this one, we want to do when green flag is clicked.
So now we're on the other pipe.
Now we're on the other pipe because I clicked over here.
Because it's not the same. They have to be different sprites because we want to build up.
Yeah, no, you'll see.
Gaps too,
you'll see later. We're creating in this version. We're creating random gaps. We're not doing set gaps, repeating over and over. We're making the gaps, random every time.
Right.
But okay. So we're gonna start by doing if forever and ever if scroll X pipe equals scroll X pipe. Oh, I think I'm doing the wrong one. Okay, no, this is okay too. If scroll X pipe equals 240, 1 second, let me just make sure I set this right. Or -240, because, okay, so, 1 second, -240, then set scroll X pipe to 240.
And that's 240, that means if it scrolls off the screen.
Yeah, no, this is what, I'll explain this in just a second. Let me just put this code in. 240. Okay, so what it does, let me just first do when green flag is clicked, forever and ever. I don't know why I always say that. That's probably getting annoying. Forever set X to scroll X pipe. Set X to scroll X pipe. Because that's what we did with the other one too, which will make it go to the area on the variable. Because you can't... It's harder to do change X by this. It's easier to coordinate the variables, especially when you get into the other part of this.
Yeah,
You'll see in a little bit.
There's going to be a calculation. So.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to think about. You might take a while to understand. Anyway, set X to scroll X pipe. Sorry, I took a while. Okay, so basically, what this code does is it's saying this code over here is saying set scroll X pipe to 240 at the very beginning.
So it's starting at the
yes, and it's always changing it by -2, making it move across the screen at, going minus, meaning that it would go 240, 238, and then it would continuously go down. So eventually it would get into negatives, and eventually it would get to -240, meaning it would go all the way across the screen. So, so when it's setting, so in this one, it's setting scroll X pipe to, if scroll X pipe equals -240, meaning it went all the way across the screen, set set scroll X pipe to 240, meaning it will go back to the front, and both of these are always setting their X to scroll X.
Makes sense.
Does that, okay.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense, but, oh, gosh, I don't know what just happened.
Only one of them is being set.
Set X to scroll X pipe. I meant scroll X pipe. Here I put scroll X, and scroll X is the background scroll, so we want scroll X pipe instead.
That's kind of an interesting effect.
Interesting mistake. Okay. Now we get into our code. So here we have them moving across. Oh, better make this gap. Yeah. Once again, I'm just going to make the gap bigger so I can, because I'm really bad at Flappy Bird. I have a confession.
Better than me.
Okay, so, probably not going to make it through this pipe knowing me. So that means once it gets to the back of the screen, off the screen, it'll teleport back to the front, meaning you can go endlessly going through the Flappy Bird.
And what that parallax effect is kind of cool, because you can see that the pipe is moving slightly slower than the background, so it gives it that little bit of 3D effect, right? Yes,
and now we have to do the random setting of how high the pipes are, and so basically, or how far apart they are and how high or low they are. So this is where it gets kind of confusing. So,
we had a lot of trouble with this, right?
Yeah, we had a lot of trouble with this. This took forever, but we finally figured it out. But you might be here just for this part of the video because this is such a hard thing to do. But anyway, so what we're doing here is we're setting two variables named center and distance from center. I'm just going to explain this before I start to code so it's easier for you guys to understand when I'm actually coding it. So we're setting two variables at random, picking random between a certain number and a certain number.
Because we want to randomize the gap, and we want to randomize where that gap is centered on, right?
Yeah.
So that
basically the center is sorry, I cut you off. The center is between. Sorry, I'm looking at my code right now, so it's easier for me to stay on track. But the code, when we are gonna do it, it's gonna pick random between -90 and 90, and -90. Oh gosh, I messed up. Control Z maybe? No, I gotta have to fix it. Hopefully this still works. Maybe. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. 1 second. I need to change the layers. Sorry, this is taking a while. I just messed up something. Go back a bunch of layers. Here. There. Maybe that'll work. Still work. Sorry, I need to fix this. This is just a small problem that you might run into. If ever oh gosh, it's taking a while. There. Okay. If ever something like this happens, then you might want to just adjust the layers, because there's so many layers in this, because you want the pipes to be on top of the, oh gosh, I moved it again. Okay, hopefully that will work. Oh gosh, I hope this works.
But it's something that people are going to run into.
So you're going to run into this pretty much guaranteed. Not entirely guaranteed. Sorry, I need to align this. But eventually you might run into the problem where the pipes aren't showing up or the bird isn't showing up and you're like, why is this happening? What's going on with my code? But really, there's so many layers in this that it's hard to sometimes you make a mistake. Oh, see, I gotta go back another few layers because the Flappy Bird sometimes like disappears or
it
whatever.
Went underneath the other background, right?
Yeah, so sometimes what happens is that, so let me just fix this quick and then we can get back to our pipe. Back to the pipes because, sorry, that just, I accidentally dragged one of the backgrounds, which is something you don't want to do and you don't want to have to deal with because it's just annoying.
Well, it's good we left that in.
But,
people are gonna have that.
But yeah, people are going to definitely have to do that. You're going to have to try to make sure each one is on the right layer. But anyway, we should probably go back to explaining about how it picks random centers and distance from centers. So let me play and then pause really quick. So basically what it's going to do, oh, I feel like a sneeze is coming on. Okay, I might sneeze later. So basically what it's going to do is it's going to pick a center between -90 and 90. So -90 is right here. And that's going to be the center,
really like,
because the pipes are so long that it's a little bit different than how you would expect. Because
-90 is like at the bottom quarter, and +90.
And then +90 is around here.
Yeah, so the pipes you want to make sure the pipes are always showing, right?
So yeah, you want to make sure the pipes are always showing, but you want to make sure they're not going off screen, which is why we pick a center for both of the pipes to follow. And then we pick a distance from center, which is the distance from center for each of the pipes. And then we have a Y top, which is the top pipe, which basically is saying the Y of the top pipe.
Yep.
And then we have a Y bottom, which is the Y of the bottom pipe.
Yep.
So I'll show you when we code this. I should probably start coding this now. So what we do is we're going to do sorry, allergies. So when green flag is clicked, we want to set center to pick random -90 through 90, because that's about what, you know.
So you want the center of the pipes before the gap to be either anywhere between the top quarter and the bottom quarter.
Pick random. Sorry, I couldn't find it. Pick random -90. Sorry, this is taking so long.
Okay.
-90 to 90. 90. Okay, to 90. And then we're gonna do set distance from center. Distance from center to pick random. Sorry, it didn't go in. Pick random 45 to 100. 45 to 100 because that's
people
about.
Can experiment with these numbers, but these.
Yeah, you really don't.
Pretty
You don't have to follow these. It's just this is around about right. You know, just to make it. What was it? 45 to 100. 45 to 100, which make these numbers about make it so so that it won't go too far like apart the pipes, you know, where you maybe sometimes can't even see them off the screen, you know, they go off the screen completely. And then also it won't go the pipes too close together or even overlapping. To make it so
there'll always be
to make it so that it's impossible to fly through. So there's a decent amount of space between each one.
Yeah. And experiment with them. You know, that's the numbers.
These I found worked best, but sometimes it's different for everyone depending on the place you put them at first and this is the basics code, but you can change around the numbers to make it work best for you. But anyway, so now comes the confusing and hard and annoying part.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to start with our Y tops and Y bottom. So let me get those out. Y tops and Y bottom.
Y top is the Y position of the top pipe, and Y bottom is the Y position
yes,
of the bottom
and then also later we're gonna. Okay, never mind. I'll talk about that later. I'm not
This is just setting the initial where it starts.
Yeah, so this is before before it even starts, it's gonna set the pipes to something new, and then it's gonna change the X. I'll show you how that works in a little bit.
This is just giving you a start. So when it starts, it's gonna start with some pick.
It's gonna start with a pick a random.
Yeah, and then you'll do some other forever loop where you'll just keep on changing.
Yeah,
right? Okay.
And then so we're gonna have set my top. This is where it gets confusing. To center plus distance from center. Plus 180 for the first one, or which one? Yeah, first one, and then minus 180 for the second one. And I'll tell you why in just a second, but first I'm just going to code this. So we're going to start with center plus distance from center. Oh gosh, I messed up. Okay, here. Center plus distance from center plus 180. 180, and then center, sorry, I'm messing up, center plus distance from center plus, or minus 180, because this is the bottom one, and I'll tell you why this all works out the way it should.
The good thing is, I think once you explain this, I think the next part is when we loop it, it's just going to be just a loop version of
now,
this, right?
This is the hardest part, but then after this, we're just going to make a loop, and then it'll be fine.
So explain this.
So,
this was this is like
this
painful,
part was
right?
painful. I hated this part so much.
We always felt great when we got it.
Yeah,
right?
but it's still... Okay, anyway. Okay, so these pipes, we're going to start by showing you these pipes. These pipes are the length of the page, correct? I showed you that before. So, meaning it's the length of the page, it is 360.
Yeah, because 180 plus 180.
360 units long, you know, because each of, when you say like X30 and X31, that's 1 unit difference.
Because 0 is the middle, and you got 180 up and 180 down.
Yeah,
so 2 times 180.
Since it's 180, we want the center of the pipes. Okay, this is where it gets confusing, and it's going to be confusing even for me to talk through this. I'm sure I'm going to get confused at one point. Okay, so the top is saying the center, which is the point between the pipes, so like, let's say they're here, right? And here's the center about, Right. And then the distance from center is the distance from here to here or from here to here. And since that's the center, both of the distances from center, that's both going to be the same. So you only need one variable for that. Right. So when it says center plus distance from center for the top pipe, it is saying that's meaning it would be right there. No, for the top pipe.
Okay,
for the top pipe, it's...
I think the bottom
one is minus, and I'll tell you why later.
Well, we messed up here.
No, we didn't.
Shouldn't this be...
This is minus, and this is plus.
Minus this
no, it's not. Oh.
Yeah.
I messed up.
Yeah, because as you were talking about it, I was thinking, well, it's center... Like, we got the distance from center, but we want to minus that for the bottom one.
It's all math. It's a lot of math.
Yeah.
You have to really understand... Well, I guess, you kind of have to understand how math works in order to get this. But anyway, you have to...
So let's go back to Y top. So Y top...
Okay, so Y top is the center, so let's say between these pipes right here, plus the distance from center, which is the distance between here and here. So if we add, what is that, like probably 100. Let's just say it's 100.
Right.
It's right here, and then it's plus 100, which means it would go right here. And then the reason why it's plus 180 and not just leave it at that, because this ends up right at the tip of the point, at the tip of the pipe. It's because this pipe is so long, and when you're saying 0, 0, look, 0, 0, this will just help me explain it better.
Oh, that's a good way to explain it.
0, 0, 0. Sorry, this is taking me so long. 0, 0. If we go to X 0, 0, covers the Flappy Bird, then we can say that this is saying it's going to X 0, 0. Sorry, this is taking me so long. Which is, if it was the tip of the pipe, count it as where the coordinates ended up, then the tip of the pipe would be right here.
Right.
But it's really the middle of the pipe that is being controlled. And since this is oh gosh, no, I moved one of the.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, so we figured it out. We were just messing up with the, all that coordinates and stuff.
Accidentally moved
we always move that, or I always move that. I'm controlling the computer. So I always accidentally move that, and I'm sure you will too. It's just a pain, but it's fine. Okay, so anyway, what I was saying was that, okay, sorry, I'm trying out. Okay, so what I was saying was, this pipe, if you put this pipe in the middle, or go to 0, 0, it's better that way. If I have this pipe go to 0, 0, then we can see, over here it says x0, y0, and we can see that the middle of the pipe is on 0, 0, meaning that the tip of the pipe isn't where the coordinates
right now the tip of the pipe is negative 180, right?
Yeah, the tip of the pipe is negative 180, which is why if we add 180, see here we add 180.
So
if we add 180, then it'll move up to the tip of the pipe. So let's say go to 0, 0, and then we say go to. Okay, how can I do this good? Okay, so let's say y top, set y top to y top plus 180, or I don't know if that will work.
What's it?
Is that right? I don't know. That's not right. Okay, no, 0 plus 180.
Yeah.
0 plus 180, because that's where y top would be.
Yeah.
If it was at 0, 0. So let's put it back to 0, 0. Or 0, 0. That annoys me, sorry. Okay, so if we have it at 0, 0, and then we set the y to 0 plus 180, then we can click on this and we can go, oh, that's in the middle now. This goes into the middle. So basically that will have the pipe go into the middle. And for the other one, it's just the opposite way around, because you're going down instead of up.
And it's that distance from center that will
fill the
gap, right?
Yeah, so that will be what happens. So what we want to do now is we want to duplicate this code, because we want this to happen every time it restarts. So instead of just now, we want it to happen every time. Let me just set this to the same x. Or have this at the same x. Okay. Okay, so we want this going at the same time. So, okay. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky also. So, or not too tricky. Yeah. We probably got the really tricky parts over. Okay, so here we want to put an if then around all that, and we want to say if scroll x pipe, well, this is where it could go wrong, but if scroll x pipe equals 240, I hope this works. Scroll x pipe equals 240, because that's when it equals 240, meaning it means that it's restarting. Yep. Then we want to say...
So that means it's at the beginning.
Yeah, that means it just restarted because of this code, where it says if scroll x pipe equals to negative 240, then it's going to set to 240.
As soon as it sets to 240, we know it's at the beginning.
Sets to 240, then we know it's at the beginning, and it's going to do that.
Yeah, because at that point we want to recenter it and regap it.
Okay, so now what we do is we want to... One second. So an easier way to do this, just to make sure they line up, is you kind of want to stack the pipes on top of each other, and sometimes that helps, I guess. But if not, then we're gonna have to try to figure that out. But okay. So what we do is we're gonna go set y bottom, and then since this says when I receive set position for pipes, we're gonna broadcast set position for pipes after this. Because of the delay, we don't want it to be setting at the same. We don't want it to be setting y to y top at the same time that it is setting. Yeah, and you probably could get rid of this piece of code, but I didn't want to bother. I wasn't sure if it would work that way, and I didn't want to mess it up, so I just left that piece of code and it worked. So let's see if this works then. So basically, okay. Sorry, my Flappy Bird this computer is slow and it's making the Flappy Bird lag a little bit. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's see what happened. We'll be right back. Okay, I hope this works. Dad doesn't even know what I just figured out.
I have no idea.
I hope this works. He doesn't even know. Sorry, I moved that camera
I heard
around
you say,
a little bit.
oh.
Yeah, he just hears me go, oh, and then I press start recording again, so I hope this works. Anyway, so what I missed was I didn't even do, set Y to, I didn't even do set if, or not if, so on this one it says forever, it says when I receive set position for pipes forever set Y to Y top, but for this one it should be when I receive set position for pipes set Y to Y bottom, but I don't have that, so that's why I went So anyway,
Okay.
I hope this works. So forever and ever and ever, set Y to Y, set Y to Y, set Y to Y, to Y to Y to Y, Y to Y.
Okay, you're losing it.
I'm sorry, I can't find it. Set Y to Y bottom. I couldn't figure out if this works, and I hope it does. Okay, sorry, I might not be able to get through this. I'm really bad at Flappy Bird. Okay, sorry, we need to restart. Okay, so far it's working. Okay, let's see. It works. I think it's working! Finally!
Yay!
I'm so tired. Yeah, it's working. Okay, so that's how you can make your own Flappy Bird game. Yeah, wrap this 30-minute episode. I'm so tired. Okay. So, and even longer for us. Okay. Anyway, and
that
as
worked
you
out really
run
great.
into the pipes, it says game
So now,
over.
with these last three episodes, you can create your own Flappy Bird completely, right?
Yeah. So, hopefully you guys can make your Flappy Bird. And if you have any questions or are confused about one part, then you could always ask in the comments, and we always try to reply as quickly as we can, so we can, answer you guys' questions. And if you, want us to show one of your projects, or
show us what you did.
we might even do live streams again, where we look at people's projects, and stuff like that. If we start getting more views on these videos.
Sounds good.
But hopefully you guys can make your own Flappy Bird game, and if you have any trouble, just ask us, and we'll try to figure out
for next time, right?
Yeah, because I don't know if we're gonna finish our Pac-Man game in time, but Pac-Man's a big project. We might need to work on that over the summer. Yeah, there is. There are gonna be like 10 episodes for that.
I think
but
so. Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably wrap this up. This is long enough as it is. I'm tired. I have allergies. I gotta go. I gotta go take my nap.
Okay, everybody.
I'm tired. Okay. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
We'll see you. Not see you. We'll make another episode. Bye. I always say that.